India lies on the Indian Plate, the northern portion of the Indo-Australian Plate, whose continental crust forms the Indian subcontinent. The country is situated north of the equator between 8 degrees 4 and 37 degrees 6 north latitude and 68 degrees 7 and 97 degrees 25 east longitude. It is the seventh largest country in the world, with a total area of 3,287,263 square kilometers. India measures 3,214 kilometers from north to south and 2,933 kilometers from east to west. It has a land frontier of 15,200 kilometers and a coastline of 7,517 kilometers. On the south, India projects into and is bounded by the Indian Ocean, in particular by the Arabian Sea on the southwest, the Lachadive Sea to the south, and the Bay of Bengal on the southeast. The Palk Strait and Gulf of Mannar separate India from Sri Lanka to its immediate southeast, and the Maldives are some 400 kilometers to the southwest. India's Andaman and Nicobar Islands, some 1,200 kilometers southeast of the mainland, share maritime borders with Myanmar, Thailand and Indonesia. Kanyakumari at 8 degrees 4 minutes 41 seconds north and 77 degrees 32 minutes 28 seconds east is the southernmost tip of the Indian mainland, while the southernmost point in India is Indira Point on Great Nicobar Island. Northernmost point, which is under Indian administration, is near Indira Col Siachen Glacier. India's territorial waters extend into the sea to a distance of 12 nautical miles from the coast baseline. The northern frontiers of India are defined largely by the Himalayan mountain range, where the country borders China, Bhutan, and Nepal. Its western border with Pakistan lies in the Punjab Plain and the Thar Desert. In the far northeast, the Chin Hills and Kachin Hills, deeply forested mountainous regions, separate India from Burma. On the east, its border with Bangladesh is largely defined by the Khasi Hills and Mizo Hills, and the watershed region of the Indo-Gangetic Plain. The Ganga is the longest river originating in India. The Ganga-Brahmaputra system occupies most of northern, central, and eastern India, while the Deccan Plateau occupies most of southern India. Kanchenjunga, on the border between Nepal and the Indian state of Sikkim, is the highest point in India at 8,598 meters and the world's third highest peak. Climate across India ranges from equatorial in the far south to alpine and tundra in the upper reaches of the Himalayas. Geological development. India is situated entirely on the Indian Plate, a major tectonic plate that was formed when it split off from the ancient continent Gondwanaland. The Indo-Australian Plate is subdivided into the Indian and Australian plates. About 90 million years ago, during the late Cretaceous period, the Indian Plate began moving north at about 15 centimeters per year. About 50 to 55 million years ago, in the Eocene epoch of the Cenozoic era, the plate collided with Asia after covering a distance of 2,000 to 3,000 kilometers, having moved faster than any other known plate. In 2007, German geologists determined that the Indian Plate was able to move so quickly because it is only half as thick as the other plates which formerly constituted Gondwanaland. The collision with the Eurasian Plate along the modern border between India and Nepal formed the orogenic belt that created the Tibetan Plateau and the Himalayas. As of 2009, the Indian Plate is moving northeast at 5 centimeters, yet while the Eurasian Plate is moving north at only 2 centimeters. India is thus referred to as the fastest continent. This is causing the Eurasian Plate to deform, and the Indian Plate to compress at a rate of 4 centimeters. Political geography. India is divided into 29 states and 7 union territories. India's borders run a total length of 15,106.70 kilometers. Its borders with Pakistan and Bangladesh were delineated according to the Radcliffe Line, which was created in 1947 during partition of India. Its western border with Pakistan extends up to 3,323 kilometers, dividing the Punjab region and running along the boundaries of the Thar Desert and the Rann of Kutch. This border runs along the Indian states of Jammu and Kashmir, Rajasthan, Gujarat and Punjab. Both nations delineated a line of control to serve as the informal boundary between the Indian and Pakistan-administered areas of Kashmir. According to India's claim, it also shares a 106 km border with Afghanistan in northwestern Kashmir, which is under Pakistani control. India's border with Bangladesh runs 4,096.70 kilometers. West Bengal, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram are the states which share the border with Bangladesh. Before 2015, there were 92 enclaves of Bangladesh on Indian soil and 106 enclaves of India were on Bangladeshi soil. These enclaves were eventually exchanged in order to simplify the border. After the exchange, India lost roughly 40 square kilometers to Bangladesh. The line of actual control is the effective border between India and the People's Republic of China. It traverses 4,057 kilometers along the Indian states of Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. The border with Burma extends up to 1,643 kilometers along the southern borders of India's northeastern states viz. Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram. Located amidst the Himalayan range, India's border with Bhutan runs 699 kilometers. Sikkim, West Bengal, Assam and Arunachal Pradesh are the states which share the border with Bhutan. The border with Nepal runs 1,751 kilometers along the foothills of the Himalayas in northern India. Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal and Sikkim are the states which share the border with Nepal. The Siliguri corridor, narrowed sharply by the borders of Bhutan, Nepal and Bangladesh, connects peninsular India with the northeastern states. Physiographic regions. India can be divided into 6 physiographic regions. They are the northern mountains, the peninsular plateaus, Indo-Gangetic plains, Thar Desert, the coastal plains, the islands, the northern mountains, a great arc of mountains, consisting of the Himalayas of Nepal, Hindu Kush, and Patkai ranges define the northern Indian subcontinent. These were formed by the ongoing tectonic collision of the Indian and Eurasian plates. The mountains in these ranges include some of the world's tallest mountains which act as a natural barrier to cold polar winds. They also facilitate the monsoon winds which in turn influence the climate in India. Rivers originating in these mountains flow through the fertile Indo-Gangetic plains. These mountains are recognized by biogeographers as the boundary between two of the Earth's great ecozones, the temperate Palearctic that covers most of Eurasia and the tropical and subtropical Indomalaya ecozone which includes the Indian subcontinent, Southeast Asia and Indonesia. The Himalayan range is the world's highest mountain range, with its tallest peak Mount Everest on the Nepal-China border. They form India's northeastern border, separating it from northeastern Asia. They are one of the world's youngest mountain ranges and extend almost uninterrupted for 2,500 kilometers, covering an area of 500,000 square kilometers. The Himalayas extend from Jammu and Kashmir in the north to Arunachal Pradesh in the east. These states, along with Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Sikkim, lie mostly in the Himalayan region. Numerous Himalayan peaks rise over 7,000 meters, and the snow line ranges between 6,000 meters in Sikkim to around 3,000 meters in Kashmir. Kanchenjunga, on the Sikkim-Nepal border, is the highest point in the area administered by India. Most peaks in the Himalayas remain snowbound throughout the year. The Himalayas act as a barrier to the frigid katabatic winds flowing down from Central Asia. Thus, North India is kept warm or only mildly cool during winter. In summer, the same phenomenon makes India relatively hot. The Karakoram is situated in the disputed state of Jammu and Kashmir. It has more than 60 peaks above 7,000 meters, including K2, the second highest peak in the world, 8,611 meters. K2 is just 237 meters smaller than the 8,848 meters Mount Everest. The range is about 500 kilometers in length and the most heavily glaciated part of the world outside of the polar regions. The Siachen Glacier at 76 kilometers and the Biafo Glacier at 67 kilometers rank as the world's second and third longest glaciers outside the polar regions. Just to the west of the northwest end of the Karakoram lies the Hindu Raj Range, beyond which is the Hindu Kush Range. The southern boundary of the Karakoram is formed by the Gilgit, Indus and Shyok rivers, which separate the range from the northwestern end of the Himalayas. The Patkai, or Purvanchal, are situated near India's eastern border with Burma. They were created by the same tectonic processes which led to the formation of the Himalayas. The physical features of the Patkai Mountains are conical peaks, steep slopes and deep valleys. The Patkai ranges are not as rugged at all as the Himalayas. There are three hill ranges that come under the Patkai: the Patkai Bum, the Garo Kazi Jaintia and the Lushai Hills. The Garo Kazi range lies in Meghalaya. Mawsynram, a village near Cherrapunji lying on the windward side of these hills, has the distinction of being the wettest place in the world, receiving the highest annual rainfall. The Peninsular Plateau, the Vindhya Range, runs across most of central India, extending 1,050 kilometers. The average elevation of these hills is from 300 to 600 meters and rarely goes above 700 meters. They are believed to have been formed by the wastes created by the weathering of the ancient Aravalli Mountains. Geographically, it separates northern India from southern India. The western end of the range lies in eastern Gujarat, near its border with Madhya Pradesh, and runs east and north, almost meeting the Ganges at Mirzapur. The Malwa Plateau is spread across Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. The average elevation of the Malwa Plateau is 500 meters, and the landscape generally slopes towards the north. Most of the region is drained by the Chambal River and its tributaries. The western part is drained by the upper reaches of the Mahi River. Kutch Kathiawar Plateau. Kutch Kathiawar Plateau is located in Gujarat state. The Deccan Plateau is a large triangular plateau, bounded by the Vindhyas to the north and flanked by the eastern and western Ghats. The Deccan covers a total area of 1.9 million square kilometers. It is mostly flat, with elevations ranging from 300 to 600 meters. The average elevation of the plateau is 2,000 feet above sea level. The surface slopes from 3,000 feet in the west to 1,500 feet in the east. It slopes gently from west to east and gives rise to several peninsular rivers such as the Godavari, the Krishna, the Kaveri and the Mahanadi, which drain into the Bay of Bengal. This region is mostly semi-arid as it lies on the leeward side of both Ghats. Much of the Deccan is covered by thorn scrub forest scattered with small regions of deciduous broadleaf forest. Climate in the Deccan ranges from hot summers to mild winters. The Chota Nagpur Plateau is situated in eastern India, covering much of Jharkhand and adjacent parts of Odisha, Bihar and Chhattisgarh. Its total area is approximately 65,000 square kilometers and is made up of three smaller plateaus, the Ranchi, Hazaribagh, and Kodima plateaus. The Ranchi Plateau is the largest, with an average elevation of 700 meters. Much of the plateau is forested, covered by the Chota Nagpur dry deciduous forests. Vast reserves of metal ores and coal have been found in the Chota Nagpur Plateau. The Kathiawar Peninsula in western Gujarat is bounded by the Gulf of Kutch and the Gulf of Cumberland. The natural vegetation in most of the peninsula is xeric scrub, part of the northwestern thorn scrub forest ecoregion. The Satpura Range begins in eastern Gujarat near the Arabian Sea coast and runs east across Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. It extends 900 kilometers with many peaks rising above 1,000 meters. It is triangular in shape, with its apex at Ratnapuri and the two sides being parallel to the Tapti and Narmada rivers. It runs parallel to the Vindhya Range, which lies to the north, and these two east-west ranges divide the Indo-Gangetic Plain from the Deccan Plateau located north of River Narmada. The Aravalli Range is the oldest mountain range in India, running across Rajasthan from northeast to southwest direction, extending approximately 800 kilometers. The northern end of the range continues as isolated hills and rocky ridges into Haryana, ending near Delhi. The highest peak in this range is Guru Shikhar at Mount Abu, rising to 1,722 meters, lying near the border with Gujarat. The Aravalli Range is the eroded stub of an ancient fold mountain system. The range rose in a Precambrian event called the Aravalli Deluge. The range joins two of the ancient segments that make up the Indian Craton, the Marwar segment to the northwest of the range, and the Bundelkhand segment to the southeast. The Western Ghats or Sahyadri Mountains run along the western edge of India's Deccan Plateau and separate it from a narrow coastal plain along the Arabian Sea. The range runs approximately 1,600 kilometers from south of the Tapti River near the Gujarat-Maharashtra border and across Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu to the southern tip of the Deccan Peninsula. The average elevation is around 1,000 meters. Anaimudi in the Anaimali Hills, 2,695 meters in Kerala, is the highest peak in the Western Ghats. The Eastern Ghats are a discontinuous range of mountains, which have been eroded and vivisected by the four major rivers of southern India, the Godavari, Mahanadi, Krishna and Kaveri. These mountains extend from West Bengal to Odisha, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, along the coast and parallel to the Bay of Bengal. Though not as tall as the Western Ghats, some of its peaks are over 1,000 meters in height. The Nilgiri Hills in Tamil Nadu lies at the junction of the eastern and western Ghats. Amakonda in Andhra Pradesh is the tallest peak in eastern Ghats. Indo-Gangetic Plain. The Indo-Gangetic Plains, also known as the Great Plains, are large alluvial plains dominated by three main rivers, the Indus, Ganges, and Brahmaputra. They run parallel to the Himalayas, from Jammu and Kashmir in the west to Assam in the east, and drain most of northern and eastern India. The plains encompass an area of 700,000 square kilometers. The major rivers in this this region of the Ganges, Indus, and Brahmaputra, along with the main tributaries Yamuna, Chambal, Gomti, Gahara, Kosi, Sutlej, Ravi, Beas, Chenab, and Teesta, as well as the rivers of the Ganges Delta, such as the Meghna. The Great Plains are sometimes classified into 4 divisions. The Babar Belt is adjacent to the foothills of the Himalayas and consists of boulders and pebbles which have been carried down by streams. As the porosity of this belt is very high, the streams flow underground. The Babar is generally narrow, with its width varying between 6 to 15 kilometers. The Tarai Belt lies south of the adjacent Babar region and is composed of new alluvium. The underground streams reappear in this region. The region is excessively moist and thickly forested. It also receives heavy rainfall throughout the year and is populated with a variety of wildlife. The Bangar Belt consists of older alluvium and forms the alluvial terrace of the floodplains. In the Gangetic Plains, it has a low upland covered by laterite deposits. The Khadar Belt lies in lowland areas after the Bangar Belt. It is made up of fresh new alluvium which is deposited by the rivers flowing down the plain. The Indo-Gangetic Belt is the world's most extensive expanse of uninterrupted alluvium formed by the deposition of silt by the numerous rivers. The plains are flat, making it conducive for irrigation through canals. The area is also rich in groundwater sources. The plains are one of the world's most intensely farmed areas. The main crops grown are rice and wheat, which are grown in rotation. Other important crops grown in the region include maize, sugarcane and cotton. The Indo-Gangetic Plains rank among the world's most densely populated areas. Thar Desert. The Thar Desert is by some calculations the world's 7th largest desert, by some others the 10th. It forms a significant portion of western India and covers an area of 200,000 to 238,700 square kilometers. The desert continues into Pakistan as the Kholistan Desert. Most of the Thar Desert is situated in Rajasthan, covering 61% of its geographic area. About 10% of this region comprises sand dunes, and the remaining 90% consist of craggy rock forms, compacted salt lake bottoms, and interdunal and fixed dune areas. Annual temperatures can range from 0 degrees Celsius in the winter to over 50 degrees Celsius during the summer. Most of the rainfall received in this region is associated with the short July to September southwest monsoon that brings 100 to 500 millimeters of precipitation. Water is scarce and occurs at great depths, ranging from 30 to 120 meters below the ground level. Rainfall is precarious and are erratic, ranging from below 120 millimeters in the extreme west to 375 millimeters eastward. The only river in this region is Luni. The soils of the arid region are generally sandy to sandy loam in texture. The consistency and depth vary as per the topographical features. The low-lying loams are heavier, may have a hard pan of clay, calcium carbonate or gypsum. In western India, the Kutch region in Gujarat and Koyna in Maharashtra are classified as its own IV region for earthquakes. The Kutch city of Bhuj was the epicenter of the 2001 Gujarat earthquake, which claimed the lives of more than 1,337 people and injured 166,836 while destroying or damaging near 1 million homes. The 1993 Latur earthquake in Maharashtra killed 7,928 people and injured 30,000. Other areas have a moderate to low risk of an earthquake occurring. Coasts. The eastern coastal plain is a wide stretch of land lying between the Eastern Ghats and the oceanic boundary of India. It stretches from Tamil Nadu in the south to West Bengal in the east. The Mahanadi, Godavari, Kaveri, and Krishna rivers drain these plains. The temperature in the coastal regions often exceeds 30 degrees Celsius, and is coupled with high levels of humidity. The region receives both the northeast monsoon and southwest monsoon rains. The southwest monsoon splits into two branches, the Bay of Bengal branch and the Arabian Sea branch. The Bay of Bengal branch moves northwards, crossing northeast India in early June. The Arabian Sea branch moves northwards and discharges much of its rain on the windward side of Western Ghats. Annual rainfall in this region averages between 1,000 and 3,000 millimeters. The width of the plains varies between 100 and 130 kilometers. The plains are divided into 6 regions: the Mahanadi Delta, the southern Andhra Pradesh Plain, the Krishna-Godavari Deltas, the Kanyakumari Coast, the Coromandel Coast, and Sandy Coastal. The western coastal plain is a narrow strip of land sandwiched between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea, ranging from 50 to 100 kilometers in width. It extends from Gujarat in the north and extends through Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, and Kerala. Numerous rivers and backwaters inundate the region, mostly originating in the Western Ghats. The rivers are fast-flowing, usually perennial, and empty into estuaries. Major rivers flowing into the sea are the Tapi, Narmada, Mandavi, and Zuari. Vegetation is mostly deciduous, but the Malabar coast moist forests constitute a unique ecoregion. The western coastal plain can be divided into 2 parts, the Kingan and the Malabar coast islands. The Lakshadweep and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands are India's 2 major island formations and are classified as union territories. The Lakshadweep Islands lie 200 to 300 kilometers off the coast of Kerala in the Arabian Sea with an area of 32 square kilometers. They consist of 12 atolls, 3 reefs, and 5 submerged banks, with a total of about 35 islands and islets. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are located between 6 degrees and 14 degrees north latitude and 92 degrees and 94 degrees east longitude. They consist of 572 isles, lying in the Bay of Bengal near the Burmese coast. They are located 1,255 kilometers from Kolkata and 193 kilometers from Cape Negrais in Burma. The territory consists of 2 island groups, the Andaman Islands and the Nicobar Islands. The Andaman Islands consists of 204 small islands across a total length of 352 kilometers. India's only active volcano, Barren Island, is situated here. It last erupted in May 2005. The Narcondam is a dormant volcano and there is a mud volcano at Baratang. Indira Point, India's southernmost land point, is situated in the Nicobar Islands at 6 degrees 45 minutes 10 seconds north and 93 degrees 49 minutes 36 seconds east, and lies just 189 kilometers from the Indonesian island of Sumatra to the southeast. The highest point is Mount Thulia at 642 meters. Other significant islands in India include Diu Daman, a former Portuguese enclave, Majuli, a river island of the Brahmaputra, Elephanta in Bombay Harbour, and Sriharikota, a barrier island in Andhra Pradesh. Salsette Island is India's most populous island on which the city of Mumbai is located. 42 islands in the Gulf of Kutch constitute the Marine National Park. Water bodies. India has around 14,500 kilometers of inland navigable waterways. There are 12 rivers which are classified as major rivers, with the total catchment area exceeding 2,528,000 square kilometers. All major rivers of India originate from one of the 3 main watersheds, the Himalaya and the Karakoram ranges, Vindhya and Satpura range in central India. Sahyadri are Western Ghats in western India. The Himalayan river networks are snow-fed and have a perennial supply throughout the year. The other two river systems are dependent on the monsoons and shrink into rivulets during the dry season. The Himalayan rivers that flow westward into Pakistan are the Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, and Sutlej. The Ganges-Brahmaputra-Meghna system has the largest catchment area of about 1,600,000 square kilometers. The Ganges basin alone has a catchment of about 1,100,000 square kilometers. The Ganges originates from the Gangotri Glacier in Uttarakhand. It flows southeast, draining into the Bay of Bengal. The Yamuna and Gomti rivers also arise in the western Himalayas and join the Ganges in the plains. The Brahmaputra originates in Tibet, China, where it is known as the Yarlung Tsangpo River. It enters India in the far eastern state of Arunachal Pradesh, then flows west through Assam. The Brahmaputra merges with the Ganges in Bangladesh, where it is known as the Jamuna River. The Chambal, another tributary of the Ganges, via the Yamuna, originates from the Vindhya Satpura watershed. The river flows eastward. Westward flowing rivers from this watershed are the Narmada and Tapti, which drain into the Arabian Sea in Gujarat. The river network that flows from east to west constitutes 10% of the total outflow. The Western Ghats are the source of all Deccan rivers, which include the through Godavari River, Krishna River and Kaveri River, all draining into the Bay of Bengal. These rivers constitute 20% of India's total outflow. The heavy southwest monsoon rains cause the Brahmaputra and other rivers to distend the banks, often flooding surrounding areas. Though they provide rice paddy farmers with a largely dependable source of natural irrigation and fertilization, such floods have killed thousands of people and caused displacements of people in such areas. Major gulfs include the Gulf of Cambay, Gulf of Kutch, and the Gulf of Mannar. Straits include the Palk Strait, which separates India from Sri Lanka, the 10-degree channel, which separates the Andamans from the Nicobar Islands, and the 8-degree channel, which separates the Lakshadweep and Amindivi Islands from the Minicoy Island to the south. Important capes include the Kanyakumari, the southern tip of mainland India, Indira Point, the southernmost point in India, Ramas Bridge, and Point Calamere. The Arabian Sea lies to the west of India, the Bay of Bengal and the Indian Ocean lie to the east and south, respectively. Smaller seas include the Lakshadweep Sea and the Andaman Sea. There are 4 coral reefs in India, located in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the Gulf of Mannar, Lakshadweep, and the Gulf of Kutch. Important lakes include Sambal Lake, the country's largest saltwater lake in Rajasthan, Vembanad Lake in Kerala, Kolaroo Lake in Andhra Pradesh, Loktak Lake in Manipur, Dal Lake in Kashmir, Chilka Lake in Orissa, and Sasthamkota Lake in Kerala.